And close the door. Close the door, please. We're live. What's going on, everybody? Let's get set up here. We're going with a little new camera here. Trying it out on the desktop for a bit of a change. A few things been happening on the farm lately. You've probably been keeping up a little bit with the with all the YouTubes that have been coming out. We've been bailing a fair bit. Other than that, everything's happening pretty well on the farm. If you've got any questions, hit us up. If you can't hear me properly, let me know too, because I've got the microphone set up here too. Just making sure everything's fine. G'day Neil, g'day Jack. What's going on? Having a few beers here tonight too. Got any questions? Let us know. Any questions from the YouTubes that have been coming out lately? Let us know as well. And yeah, we'll go from there. How's the baling? So the baling's been going good. We're just pulled up today because we're supposed to get some rain today. Well, the rain's eventuated to about 3 mils instead of 30. So we'll probably be back into it sometime tomorrow either or something along those lines. So the baling is progressing. We're not quite halfway yet. We've got a long way to go, but I think we'll get a lot better run now than what we've been having overall. So baling is progressing, carting is progressing. Everything's going pretty much according to plan, but just not going very quickly is what I'll say. Excuse me for a second. That's better. Just turn the aircon on. It's a bit warm in here. Favourite tractor. So favourite tractor is probably the one I've still got on the farm. The 450 quad tractor we've got from 2003. It's about my favourite. It's about my favourite tractor, I suppose. It's the one I grew up in sewing and learning how to drive a tractor, and it was the most comfortable out of the lot when I did all that. So yeah, I like the 450 quad tractor. Do you do harvesting? Yeah, we sure do. Yep. So harvest coming up soon. We will be doing. So we got one X9, and we just bought another second X9 this year. So be plenty of X9 footage coming up on the channel very, very soon. Probably this week a little bit. Just trying to fit up a Prairie hopper system to our newer X9. I got to do it with the older X9 too. Should take the capacity of the hopper from 16,400 litres to 18,000 litres. So that'll be good. So that's what the plan is there. But I reckon we'll still a little bit off harvest. We've got probably, yeah, we haven't even started windrun yet. The windrun will probably come in this week, I'd say. Cheers, C. Henderson. Yeah, no, it came out really good. I really did like that. All the ag plane footage, it come out really good. It was about my favourite video to make, especially with Mick. He took the camera up with him. That was pretty cool. I always wanted to do that as a kid. Anyway, now they've got GoPros and whatever. I just sent it with him, and he set it on the dash, and that was it. It was very cool. We'll probably do it again, I'd say, someday. Well, sometime soon, whenever we get him next. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was a bit of a fault. He looked a bit awkward hanging onto it, and I went, "Oh, what should I do?" It sort of couldn't really see him very well, but I didn't realize he was playing with the computer. He was about to turn around and show us. Anyway, I thought, with sort of wasting my time here. And then when I grabbed it back, I'm like, "Oh, you idiot!" When I reviewed the footage. But anyway, next time, there's always next time. Need to go down to do harvesting. Yeah, so harvesting's coming up down here. It's underway in northern New South Wales, into Queensland, obviously. But it's harvest is something you need to get a part of. It's always a good time of the year. G'day, Simon. What's going on, man? I see you're a member. Seen your name in the members thing before, actually. What's going on? How's things your way? And where are you from too, Simon? If anyone's interested in becoming a member, it's $2.99 a month. So at the moment, we're running no mid-roll ads for a couple of days prior to when all the videos are released. So you can go on there and actually get them 2 days. So I usually release Thursday and Sunday. So we'll go back to, I think I released this one back on like Tuesday, and I did it Sunday morning for this last video. Just depends how long it takes me to edit them up. I usually edit and release the videos on the same week. So just takes me a little bit of time to get them all sorted out. But for all intents and purposes, I try to get them to them a bit earlier, 1 or 2 days earlier, so that they can see them mid-roll ad free. And then when they get released Thursday and Sunday, I always put the ads back on. So if you're interested in that, let us know. Coming up very soon, we have 2 sponsors coming on for the channel who will take those mid-roll ads off. So if you remember and you've been paying for that because you're happy to have the mid-roll ads off, I'm sorry. But at the same time, I will make sure you will get your money's worth for sure. But at this stage, all of Harvest is covered for sponsors. We are going to be announcing them very, very soon once we just get a few more things sort of way along with the giveaway. So look out for that in the next week, I'd say. And yeah, that should be pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited to have these 2 guys on board. One of them's a long-term client of mine, so customer. I'm a customer of theirs, and the other one's a new company that I haven't dealt with before. So we're excited to get to know them, and hopefully get some of their products on the farm. That'd be great too. So that will. I see Fletcher's there too. G'day, Fletcher. How you going? Any of these? I don't know if you guys can see it, but Simon and Fletcher. They've got the little member badges beside them. $2.99 per month. You'll get priority on these live comments as well. When I see your name come up, you'll get your one answered first. So, do you guys do any lucerne or other grass hay, or just the cereal hay? So no, we don't do much lucerne or grass hay. We only do cereal hay. And to be honest with you, even that we really only do that when it's in drought. But that being said, this year we're sort of right on the edge of that, and the money was a little bit better for cereal hay, so we've gone for a fair bit of cereal hay this year. So that's what the plan. That's why we've done so much this year. The gross margin for the cereal hay was just better than the grain, and now that it hasn't rained at all, it's supposed to rain 30 to 40 mils today. We've had about 6, so. I think the hay will definitely pay off in the end for sure. Anyway, thanks Fletcher for coming on board with the membership. You boys go with rebaling of those August. They're ready to roll for harvest. So good question. So you'll probably see them. They should get them out the door tomorrow, but I don't know if that's going to happen. They're both sitting there ready to be painted. They've all but finished. They've been working on the hoppers. They've got the hoppers back for them. And now we're putting the tow bars, making the tow bars for them because they're a brand new tow bar system. So when I think they're all ready to roll, they'll be bolted on and maybe painted tomorrow while we're hanging back a little bit on this hay. That's the plan anyway. I'm working on putting these Prairie hopper extensions on one of the X9s. You'll probably see a video about that because I've done about half that video already. And once we get rolling a little bit more, we will start doing a little bit of work more towards getting ready for harvest. The hay is taking everyone's attention at the moment, thankfully the harvest is taking a little bit longer to roll in than usual. So it's working in our favour considering we've done so much hay, and I think it's working in everyone's favour because everyone's doing hay at the moment. There is a power of hay around here cut. And to be honest with you, I think the blokes who haven't done a power of hay are probably going to regret it. Bit dry over at Bega, good for logging, which I do around Barbala, not so good for the farmers. Yeah, I guess it's a bit that way, but at the end of the day, they're probably doing okay. Hopefully we'll get a bit of rain coming into spring, and coming into spring. Out of spring. end of spring, summer, sort of might get a little bit wetter. There's a few more storms and that sort of stuff floating around these days. Unbelievably, it's split over us like the Red Sea about 4 times today. So around it's probably got a little bit more than we did, but yeah, we've had very little rain, which is a bit disappointing, but that's just the way it goes. We haven't had any rain for a good month and a half. So poor time to not have any rain, but that's the way it goes. Anyway, we'll see what happens tonight, but I'm not putting in any stock in it at the moment because there's nothing on the radar at all. Anyway, if anyone's interested, we've got merch over on the website. Just type in www.naraingrain.myshopify.com and you can go and find any of the merch. If you hang out to the 1st of November, there'll probably be a sneaky discount, probably a good discount. So 1st to 11th's my birthday. I reckon we're going to do a 1-day flash sale. I haven't mentioned that to Sam, so she might be like, oh no, Sam's wife. She's usually in control of all the merch, but that's what I was thinking, and I haven't said it to her yet. Any other questions, guys, let us know. But yeah, we've got hoodies, T-shirts, 7 different caps. We're just reordering some of the caps. The sunset ones and the sewing ones have gone out rather quickly. So we're getting a few more of those coming in soon. The T-shirts have been rolling out steadily coming into harvest or a warmer time. So the T-shirts are a good option for anyone who's interested. But yeah, what else is going to be happening this week? Hopefully we'll get a bit more hay carted, sorted. We've put probably 1,500 bales in the shed so far. I think very close to just a little bit under 1,500 bales. And yeah, it's going pretty good at the moment. The bales have been a little bit challenging getting any decent sort of run out of them, but just as it started to look like rain, they started to pick up. We're having a lot of issues with sort of in the back of the chambers of the baler. It was sort of building up in the corners real bad. It was sort of gummy, sugary stuff. So we'll be happy to see that sort of dry up, and then we can just press a fair few out real quick. I reckon we've probably still got at least 10 days worth of baling from where we are. We're not behind schedule. It's just taking longer than we'd really hope. We just want to get some of this stuff out of the way so we can get a few more of these other projects sorted and be ready for harvest. So going into harvest, we've got a few interesting things happening with the X9. One of the X9s at this point is going to have a Harvest Lab protein meter, so that will be very interesting to see all the data and whatever come off those. They come out and fitted it the other day. You'll probably see a little bit of that on the next video, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty good thing, and yeah, it should be very, very, very handy. We're doing a little bit of a thing with Hutch and Pierce on that, so you'll probably see a little bit of a sponsorship thing from them too. But yeah, we'll be working on those, working on getting those rolling when the time comes. But yeah, very interesting. I'm hoping to get a second one for the second X9. Having a few issues with the John Deere factory on those. So. We've gone away from case headers. So a couple of reasons. The critical time. So back when we switched to our first X9, they didn't make a bigger case header. We looked at what the X9 was coming out with: twin rotors, big separation area, bigger sieves, all the rest, and decided to go with that purely for more monetary reasons for anything. And it's been a really good system, really good platform. I think it's got a lot of potential to continue being a good platform. They're still working on a few issues with them. I see a few more people sort of coming out with issues with them this year. But to be honest with you, we've had very, very little issues. So I've been pretty happy with the X9 so far. So we went for a second one. Now, obviously, they have 9, they have 10, they have, well, if you can get it, CR11 headers, they have 11 headers. We may look at those in the future. Not saying no, but at this stage, we're happy to stay with the X9. So that's why we've done that. While the S series and the 50 series cases were around, or 40 series, whatever you want to call them, whichever model you want to call them, they're about the same capacity. So there was no reason to change really for John Deere, especially being nearly all case. So that's the main reason. Now that we've got the John Deeres, I could see pretty good stuff with the GPS and the technology side of things is pretty good. That being said, whoever's got the bigger header wins at the end of the day. I think there's something to be said for the 8800 class. I think there's something to be said for the New Holland CR11, CR10, all good headers. We've gone up a level in headers, and I'm pretty happy to be sort of in that next level because that's where we needed to be 10 years ago now. So, yeah. Talking to the guys, apparently there's some talk of the AF11 coming to Australia. I've spoken about that in these lives before. At one point, they didn't want to do it at all. Now they're talking about doing it. I'd be very interested to see an AF11 against our X9s and see how it performs on a good year, a real good year. I don't think I will go searching for a demo until I have something with decent crops to really test it. And then that should be very interesting. Hopefully there'll be a couple of years. I get a few of the bugs ironed out with them. They seem to have a few bugs at this stage. So, yeah, we're just going to wait until they just sit on our hands where we are for a little while. I think these X9s will be around for a couple of years. They're very, as I said, a very good platform, and we've been very, very happy with it. Come out there a little bit's annoying me. Yeah, so that's the plan so far. Yeah, what else has been happening? Where are you all from? What's the climate look like around you guys at the moment? It's certainly been dry enough here. It's my lawn has been very, very dry. I've only just got around to getting some water onto it. It needed that. Irrigation's going flat out. And looking at my scheduler app, trying to figure out what they're whether to go another watering on some of those. I just watered the irrigator again. But to be honest with you, I don't know what to do with them. The water's too expensive to chuck at them, but it's too expensive not to let them go through all the way to the end. So anyway, that's where I'm at with the irrigation. Not sure what to do. Anyway, got any questions, guys? Let us know. If anyone's interested in become a member, head over to the membership tab in YouTube and have a look at that. $2.99 a month. And we do early videos. I'm trying to get into the videos a little bit more, early shorts, these sorts of things to give the members some more content that you aren't seeing so much on the other social medias. They do get a little bit of what's coming up on the Facebook. On the Facebook, yeah, but it's most of the time they're getting a few different things. They had early access to the a lot of that crop dusting videos that you saw earlier on in the week, so it was good. Where's the water cache up to in your area? Where's my phone? I think I left it in there. I think. Oh, no, here we go. I'll have a look at that. I think it was about 18% last time I checked. Water allocation, New South Wales. That's where it was, 18% there last week, I think. We'll find out once this thing loads here. So, yeah, we're still planning to do 200 hectares of corn this year with that. But at this stage, it's where is it? Not going to come up from here. But yeah, that's at this stage, 200 hectares is about going to pull it up. bring up now allocations. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, it's... Where is it? I'll give up. I'll find that out and let you know. In South Gippsland has been pretty wet, but plenty of people around here getting in their first and second cut of silage. Yeah, so yeah, silage, hay, plenty of that going on around here too, Fletcher. It's better. Yeah, it's people getting their fill, trying to get their stocks back up from last year after it sort of all went out the door. Yeah, a mini mix per hectare to grow corn. So from where we are, probably more like 8 or 9 megs to the hectare, I would say. Just depends. Depends how much it rains, really. The ground's not saturated at all, so I presume it'll take a fair bit to get it sort of going. Yes, but usually it's sort of that 8. You pencil 8. We might have to pencil 10 this year to make it really work, I think. Anyway, we'll see how that goes with the corn. We have no corn set aside, no corn ground set aside this year. It'll all come off or start after the canola. So when the canola comes off, we'll come back through, put the corn in. Got 100 hectares under the lateral irrigator, and it's about 110 hectares, 120 hectares, something like that under the flood. So that's about what we're going to be doing. So you see a bit of irrigation stuff over the summer. It's not the usual size we do, but it is what it is. Hopefully we get a bit of rain over the summer. It'll help for sure. Any other questions? I'm still trying to find this bloody allocation. I should know where it is, but I don't. Water find. Let's see what water find's got. Lower down. Murray. High security. No one cares about high security. 18%. Yeah. So it's still 18%. That's what I thought. 18%'s better than nothing. There's just been no rain to push it along to get them to release any more. There's a fair bit of water in the Hume Dam, but there's nothing to back it up. I don't know how much they'll give us in the end. Irrigation produces the best crop of corn. What brand pivots and laterals do you run? So the pivots, or particularly the lateral, our lateral is probably the best for us. It will produce generally 1 ton to 2 ton better than the flat irrigation will, just because you can put it on in a more measured amount. Like we might do 25 mils and 25 mils and 25 mils. It just keeps getting 25 mils every 3 days is generally how we run it. So that tends to work a lot better. The pivots we have, the lateral we have is a valley. Takes about a day and a half to go from one end to the other. And then the pivots we have they're older T&L style pivots. We're not doing any pivots this year. It just costs too much to pump the water up to them, and then you're using diesel sort of to power the pivots round and round, but you're pumping up to them. It all just takes effort and cost and money. And then it uses a little bit more because it's on a bit sandy hill up there. So yeah, not doing the pivots this year. Thank God. So might not have so many irrigator issues this year. But yeah, we're still putting in a fair slab. That 100 hectares is sort of bread and butter. We've been doing that since 2014 or something like that. 100 hectares nearly every year. So the extra 200 is just basically where we can get after canola. We'll bang it in for corn. We've got the water bought for that, so it's a sure thing. It's just whether the price of water shoots up, we might actually just sell the water and not actually plant corn. That's been discussed before. Was locked it in for a certain amount of dollars. If it goes up to around over 300, we may look at just selling the water and not even growing it, because whatever we were going to make off that, we would just make off the water. So that's the idea. You use our scissor engines for the 10L hydraulic drive. So you run JD1 on one of your pumps. Yep. So that's right. Yep. That's exactly right. Our scissor engines for the 2 pivots that run and the JD1 pumping the water up. So that's exactly what it is. The lateral has a JD motor on it as well, as does their big dam pump. So they're all sort of that 75 to 150 horsepower John Deere motors. They're all very similar in size and capacity and everything. For the irrigators, yeah, irrigators and pumps. We've got one Cummins on one of our other dams, and it's been quite successful. It's a bit due for a rebuild though at the moment. What do you think about the John Deere Greenstar machine sink with a header and a chase pin? Very, very, very good stuff. If I had John Deere tractors, I would use it flat out. It was just a game changer. If for those who don't know what I'm talking about, go and check out my Facebook from last year. We had the 340 on demo with the machine sink on our Dunstan Chaseman, and it was next level cool. I would happily do it again if I had a John Deere tractor. I've got the 9R, but it's not really suited for a chaser bin at this stage. But I would do it if I could do it, because it's just the best. Like, you wouldn't even not have it if you could have it, provided you wanted to pay the money for it, because it's just so simple. It takes all of the thinking out of chase bin driving and all that disconnect between the chase bin and the header that's just plagues chase bins. Very, very good technology. I would use it in a heartbeat. Go and check out the Planting the Crop page on Facebook. I put up a video about that last year. I've also got on my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well if you're interested. But that machine sink was good stuff. Most farms in your area, must be significant cost to set up blocks for irrigation. Not something you see in WA a great deal. So that's generally, that's generally it is. I'd say about 50% of the ones around here, this particular area, because we are an irrigated spot, do have some sort of irrigation set up. Not all of them, about 50%. There's been a significant amount of money spent on setting up all of these irrigation blocks around us over the years. Since the 1960s is when the Kruger scheme was made. So we were, the old man set up our old irrigation. You see, go back to one of my videos, it was spring irrigation in full swing, I think it was. You'll see our old irrigation block. It was done in the 80s, I think, late 80s. So it's been set up for a long time. A lot of money in moving dirt around, but at least when you spend that money once, it's sort of almost like you got to touch it up once in a while, but it doesn't take nearly as much to touch it up after you've set it up. So, yeah, I think the irrigation is definitely worth it. Like, I would have paid for itself 100 times over that block. But that being said, you just got to put the money up front. We're probably going to do one of our a new block. We're going to form up 120 hectares up into blocks hopefully this summer. You'll see that coming up on the channel pretty soon with the laser bucket. Laser bucket's back on and back in action. Hopefully going to get terracotta set up on it as well, so we'll get to see a bit of that action coming up as well. All stuff we're looking forward to going forward. But yeah, 120 hectares extra, that's a big jump up for us. It's a pretty standard block. So if this is the block, the head ditch is already sort of, get it right in. No, not going to do it. The bays will run like this. They already run to the west the way we need them to. We've already got the head supply where it is. And we'll just run a channel across the top, put a bunch of Padman stops, automated stops in. And it's simple as that, really. Shift the dirt around to make them run. That's about it. There is a big swamp in that, so there'll be a bit of dirt moved in there. Remember JB mentioned that one of his blocks had not been topsoiled properly. It mustn't be as simple as making it all flat. No, that's right. It's so that topsoiling is something that I still think is a little bit overlooked. That was how I was taught it. The top 10 centimeters of wherever you cut. So you have dirt height here. If you cut 4 centimeters, you've got 6 centimeters of topsoil left. You either have to replace that with 4 centimeters or know that you've taken 6 centimeters or you're back to 6 centimeters. So the bloke who taught me said you want 10 centimeters cut all the time. 10 centimeters of topsoil. So if you take off 4 centimeters, you need to essentially cut it down below that, come back up to 10 centimeters. It takes a little bit of effort and time to do, but when you don't do it properly, you'll notice the difference. The bloke who taught me was one of the first people in our district to start doing that, and he was very, very good at it. So they will. There's a fair bit of sort of talk and a fair bit of effort needs to be put into that. It's not simple, and there's a fair few operators that don't know what they're doing with it. I don't think either. So, yeah. And he just watched the latest. Hey, Vid, what are the vertical rams on your hay spikes? Do they extend your headboard? Yes, they do. So they extend from basically being about the same height as 2 bales, maybe 3. You can use 3 with them fully retracted, but if you extend them, you can go out to 4. All of their hay forks do that on the JCBs, so we can lift and put on 4 on the truck in one hit. They are made by Kerfab in Kerrang. Is what they are. Expensive company, but very good stuff. We go flood pipe, riser, or pivot lateral. So it'll be this one talk about, we call it Marcus's paddock. Marcus's will have the same drop box, blah pipe in between with a drive over road in that we have pretty much everywhere. It is the gold standard for flood irrigation, I think. There is some talk of going to more of a automated style, like computer automation style. Want to see a few more of those in action. If anyone's, it's probably not anyone in this live, but if anyone's interested in giving us a go with one of them, I know Padman's already talking to us about some of that, so maybe we'll see a little bit of that coming up. I need to touch base with Sean again. They are very good. The automation's back in Padman's hands now, so hopefully we'll be able to see some of that coming up soon. But I heard about it a couple of weeks ago, and now I haven't heard about it again, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, essentially flow will be 20 or 40 megs, so 1 to 2 bays in a hit, and just send it across. And then where it is, we'll go back underneath the Kruger channel, back into our sump from the south side. I'll probably explain a bit more when the time comes when we start setting it up and whatnot. But yeah, that's the plan. More bales, more harvest before that. We start having to think about that. Hey, Andy, have W as your weekend. I don't know what that means, but okay. Have W as your weekend. Not sure what that means, bro. Anyway, guys, we'll be wrapping this up pretty soon. But yeah, everything's going pretty well on the farm. I apologise for not doing any lives. I've reached out to a couple other Australian YouTubers to see if they want to come on the lives. Maybe we'll talk about that a bit more going into the next year. Let us know who you'd like to see. Who you'd like to see. I was talking to the fella from Tom's Brook, JH, and I was talking to what's his name, Merritt from Merritt Contracting, and they will be. They showed interest. We'll see what happens after harvest. Just need to get a few things out of the way and go from there. How was my weekend? So sorry, Patrick. Um, Weekend's been pretty good. I've only really had a day off. I'm a little bit scattered. I'm very sleep deprived. Anyway, we're working forward here, but yeah, it's these lives probably won't. I won't do another couple. We might do a couple straight from the. Can you go? Straight from the header. It'd be about the next time I'm doing any of the lives. We'll do a couple of lives from the header when we get rolling on a Sunday night. Is what I'm thinking. Anyway, guys, we might leave it at that. If you got any more questions, chuck them up and we'll sort them out. Again, if you're interested in the membership's coming soon. For all those who missed the announcement before, we're going to have 2 sponsors coming on for, I think it was like 21 videos. I'm planning to do 3 videos over harvest per week. So I estimate 7 weeks. We're going to have 7 weeks of sponsorships coming up. Sponsorship, you'll see the plaque come up at the start of the YouTube, and that will get rid of all of the mid-roll ads. It basically just covers my bases for all of the mid-roll ads going through harvest, which is what I've been trying to do for a little while. So you'll have no ads for those people who don't have YouTube Live. Again, there's a couple of members in here for the members who jumped on board that because they've been getting them for a couple of days ad-free. Before I actually post them on Thursday and Sunday nights, we will have a bit more. There's other things we'll be doing in there, but that was one of the perks of being part of the membership. We will endeavour to give you probably members only lives coming up very soon. Some other shorter videos we'll be posting up there direct. Pictures, questions, whatever you want. If you're Fletcher and who's the other one? Simon. If you're interested in anything you'd like to see, anything moving forward in the member section, let us know. Have you set up any Starlinks on your header? So the new X9 has the JD link on the top. So I've had it going, getting 300 megabits per second. We'll see how it goes over harvest. I see Starlink Minis. You can actually get a Starlink Mini for free now, and then you've got your subscription on top. I'm probably going to do that for my house. How did your house yard fence turn out? That's a good question. I wondered if anyone was actually interested in that at all. It's finished. We got it all sorted. Just need to paint the posts. Come out really, really good. I still need to do a fair bit to my yard to get it up to scratch. It's not going to happen before harvest now, but I need to paint the post. But other than that, it's pretty much all done. It's come out really good. It got all the gates hung and whatnot. I should do a little bit of a run around on that this tomorrow morning before I leave, because that's a good thing I sort of forgot. I didn't ever conclude that. But yeah, no, it come out really good. As I said, just need to paint the posts. We had them all primed up, got them all cleaned up after the welds and whatever, and just going to paint the post matte black. We had a few different goes at different colours. We had silver there for a little while, and then we sort of thought about just making them red and leaving them red, and in the end we did the matte black, and it turned out best. So that's what we're going to do. Is there much chickpeas that far south? Nah, not really, Tim. It's pretty not many chickpeas. It's more of a northern New South Wales sort of Queensland thing. Anyway, guys, that's going to about wrap us up. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks. I don't know how to say your name. A McDonough 32. Thanks for becoming part of the membership. If you're interested, go and check out the membership tab on YouTube. I think we've got about 20 of us over there, 21 now by the looks of it. So if you're interested, go and jump on the memberships. It's $3 a month. It's pretty cheap, and you can get all the perks associated with that, including getting some of the merch for, I think it's $5 off T-shirts, hoodies, and hats. So you can use that anytime you want. Buy as many hats as you want for $5 off. That's just one of the perks that you get in there. Anyway, guys, have a good day, and yeah, we'll see you from the header. Probably be the next time you'll see me on a live. I look forward to that. I'm going to get a nice little live setup in there, hopefully. All right, guys. See ya. We'll catch you later.